In this video, I'm going to break down all the expenses that every NRI in the UAE should plan for. Living in the UAE as an NRI can come with some huge benefits. Tax-free income, easy travel, a great lifestyle, and so on. And we all know that we have to earn, budget, save, and invest. But here's the thing, that's all well and good. But there are some expenses that are a must-do. There are expenses that you cannot afford to skip. This can not only put yourself but your family at risk. I've listed 9 total expenses in this video and I recommend you watch the whole video. But if you'd like, feel free to skip around using the timestamps below. The first one is a big one, life insurance. Here's the thing, life insurance is very subjective to some people. I've heard a lot of people tell me that life insurance is a must-have, while a lot of people have also told me don't purchase life insurance. This is mainly because there are a lot of different types of life insurance, and what you want is the term life insurance. The people who are telling you not to go with the life insurance are probably the ones who have been burnt by the other life insurance products out there. The way to make a life insurance policy benefit you is pretty simple. Do your research, set it up, automate the payments, and forget about it.
30 seconds. That's all it took.
I've personally taken my term life policy until the age of 70. This is because if I follow my own rules and I follow my own instructions on Boss Your Money, then by the time I turn 70, my family should be very, very well settled financially. The point of this policy is to not earn back the premiums that I pay. It is not an investment tool. It is purely an expense that benefits my family in case my death comes earlier than expected. It is an expense that covers and protects your family until your investments can actually take over and protect them.
Nice.
As I said, there are a lot of other policies in the life insurance category, like your cashback policies, your investment linked policies, your whole life policies.
Blah, 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 blah.
None of these are required if you are saving and investing like I show you in these videos. Okay, that's your life insurance covered, but there is something that you can add on to your life insurance that again a lot of people overlook. Trust me, it's an add-on that's well worth the extra premium. And this is called critical illness and disability cover. As the name implies, a critical illness or disability policy will give you an income in case you are no longer able to work because of a critical illness or disability. The illness can range from cancer to heart disease. Your disability can come from an accident. It doesn't matter. This is a broad cover to protect you and your family by receiving income when you no longer can go out and earn it for yourself. I don't need to tell you how major it could be if you are hit with a disability or an illness that prevents you from going to work. Not only can it wipe out your savings, but it completely puts a stop to your earning potential. Standalone policies for these are quite rare, especially in the UAE, but it is quite common to have them as an add-on to your life insurance policy. So please look into that and consider opting for that option. Enough about life insurance. Let's talk a little bit about spending while we are still here. Taking care of our health. Most of us living here in the UAE have employer provided health insurance, but these health insurance policies can vastly range in terms of what they cover. A lot of them don't cover basic requirements like dental, optical, and physiotherapy, and a lot of them don't even cover some of the more reputable hospitals. If you are in need of one of these treatments, or if you have an illness that requires a specialist doctor, a doctor that is not available in your network of hospitals, it can get quite difficult to handle and extremely expensive. So what's the solution? You have 2 options. You can either approach your HR and try to find out if they can upgrade your policy. It may be even worth paying a certain sum of that from your end. But if this is not an option for you, it may be worth forking out that extra money and taking your own individual medical policy. Alright, that's enough of the heavy stuff. Let's talk a little bit about one of the biggest benefits of living in UAE. Travel. We are in one of the world's biggest travel hubs. Half the long haul flights that go across the world stop here in Dubai. So budget for travel. Don't be afraid to spend while you can. As long as you know how much you're spending and as long as you're not exceeding the budget, it's important to spend that time. to spend that money, to explore new countries, cultures, and experiences. But of course, don't forget your roots. Don't forget to fly back home and spend some quality time with your friends and family. And since we are on travel, there's a small extra little thing that you can do that can save you a lot of headaches that can come with travel. And that is travel insurance. As NRIs, we tend to travel more than most, especially those living in India itself. Most of us make at least one trip back home a year. Travel insurance can cover you for a lot of things like lost baggage, delayed flights, cancelled flights, and sometimes even medical emergencies abroad. So it's well worth the little bit that it takes to buy it. But also keep in mind, there are a lot of different platforms and credit cards that offer you travel insurance for free. So make sure you check that before you go ahead and buy it. Okay, so we've talked about protecting yourself, your family, and your travels. But what about investing a little bit in yourself? Most of us live on autopilot. Wake up, work, Netflix, sleep. I challenge you to break the routine. Spend on learning, books, online courses, workshops. Some of them may help your career, help you land a raise. Some of them can just help you live a healthier lifestyle. You can learn a little bit more about investing. You can learn about cooking and eating healthy. You can hire a trainer and hit the gym. And the other thing that you can invest in learning is your own hobbies. Maybe you like photography. Go take up a workshop and learn photography. When I say learn and when I say education, I don't mean just for jobs. It can be anything. Just improve your skills, improve your knowledge. It can be for you. It can bring you happiness. Okay, let's switch gears a little bit and talk about something that a lot of us don't even think about. As an Indian expat living in the UAE, a lot of our assets might not end up where you think if you pass away. I know it's getting a little dark, but these are things that we have to discuss. Spend some money on proper will and estate planning. Make sure your wealth goes to the right people, to the people that you want your wealth to go to. Keep in mind that the will that you register here may not be applicable in India. So if you do have assets in India as well, then make sure you have a separate will there as well. I'm not a professional. If you are considering any of these things, please make sure you do your own research and make sure you consult a professional. I know it's not something fun to think about, but it is about safeguarding your wishes and your loved ones. As an NRI, you have to deal with Indian tax laws, FEMA, and repatriation laws. Mess them up and it could cost you heavily. So if you have crossed a certain threshold with your wealth, I highly recommend that you appoint a tax consultant or a financial advisor to take a look at your assets and your wealth and advise you on what's the best move going forward. And now for something a little more practical and a little less serious. If budget permits, I would highly encourage you to think about getting your driver's license in the UAE and maybe getting an affordable car. When I say affordable, I don't necessarily mean cheap, just a car that you can afford. This can bring a lot of lifestyle benefits with it. Not only are you going to save time in terms of your travel, but it can also give you a lot of freedom in the way you move around. But not just that, you are watching Boss Your Money after all. It can in fact reduce your expenses in a lot of cases. Maybe you use taxi services a lot. This can drastically bring down your travel expenses, but it also opens up an opportunity that allows you to live in a more cost-effective area that doesn't have the greatest public transport access. And if you are considering buying a car, I highly recommend that you check out this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.